at my table tennis, look at my matches, look at all the different ways that I'm trying to improve. I try to share as much as I can really with what I'm doing, and then hopefully that will help you guys as well in your table tennis. So if you haven't done already, please do. Please like, please subscribe to the channel. I was reading the stat the other day that something like 80% of the people that watch the channel don't actually subscribe to it. So please do subscribe. It really helps to support me, helps the channel to grow, helps me to keep bringing some hopefully some interesting videos for you. So today is vlog time. I do enjoy doing these ones actually, and I'm on my way down to Derby. We're playing at Draycott today. It's a bit of a last minute thing actually. It's going to be Vets British League, so with all the old codgers basically. And yeah, it's one of those. I'm only joking by the way, but yeah, unfortunately I'm kind of in that category now where I'm over 40. So yeah, so I qualify as a vet. Phil Summers got in touch with me the other day, and Phil helps organise the main British League team. And I've known Phil for quite a few years and played on a few different teams with him, played against him a lot over the years, and a very good player. So he got in touch with me to say that one of their guys isn't feeling very well, so you know, would I be able to sort of step in? And I thought it'd be a really good experience actually. I can only do today, I can't do tomorrow, just with family commitments and whatnot, so it's just going to be the one day. But it's going to be, it should be really good experience. I think the one thing with Vets table tennis is that I think it's slightly different with table tennis than most of the sports, because I think, you know, when you're talking about some people who are, say, over 40, over 50, over 60, if you're playing football or you're playing tennis or anything like that, of course the standard is going to drop a little bit, just because people aren't quite as physically capable as they were when they were in the 20s and the 30s, so the standard kind of drops a little bit. But I think in table tennis the standard almost improves a bit, because you don't need to be quite as physically strong and physically able. I mean, it does definitely help, but it's not essential, and there's lots of different ways that you can play table tennis without needing to move a huge amount. But then the thing that they all have that is invaluable is experience. You know, they have lots and lots of experience, so that really does stand them in good stead, and it means it makes for a really you know, tough time, and you can end up playing against some of these guys, and you know, you get onto the table, you start knocking up with someone who's in their late 70s, early 80s, and you think, well, I should really be beating this guy quite comfortably. And then you start playing, and it's kind of like actually really difficult to beat. You do tend to come up against lots of pimples, lots of anti-spin, so it's a lot of, you know, using your noggin. It's not all about just hitting big shots all the time, and you've got to be able to read the spin on the ball that's coming at you. You've got to be good tactically, so it's really good experience in my opinion. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and so it'll be a good experience for British League when we do that in November. So the format of the day is, I think we've got 3 matches. There's 3 of us in the team, so slightly different to British League where there's 4 in a team. I'll be playing 2 like individual matches for each one, so I'll play 6 in total. So yeah, should be a really good day. I think it'll be very difficult. I think I'm good enough to win a few. I think hopefully I'm not going to be in for a complete hiding, but we'll find out, I guess. Like I say, put it all down to, you know, the experience really. I'm not too worried about that. I just want to try and play well. I want to try and put into practice now some of the you know, some of the stuff that I've worked on over the summer in my training. I'll put highlights of all my matches today in this vlog. I'll do a bit of a summary, and I'll obviously show you behind the scenes and everything as well as we go along. I will then put all of my matches will be uploaded in full as separate videos as well, so if there's any in particular that you think looks quite good and you'd like to see the full match, you'll be able to do that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Let's see how we get on.
Okay, so apologies for looking a bit sweaty. Just nipped back to the car just for a quick review of the morning and early afternoon. So we've played 2 matches so far. We won in the morning 5-1, and then in the afternoon there's still Phil's playing his last game now, but I just actually managed to win my last game, which has won it. Well, it's got us to 4 points basically, because what you have to do with this format is slightly different to like a normal league match where you get points for each like individual win that you get or each individual game. With this, it's quite tricky really. You have to kind of win the match overall to get any points, so there's a little bit more pressure. It's very similar to British League, a little bit more pressure when you're playing, but it feels really good when you do actually win. So yeah, so bit of a recap. I mean, I've won 4 out of 4 so far, so absolutely delighted. You're never quite sure what you're going to be coming up against. We're in the kind of like the bottom division of Vets British League, but standard's still excellent. Do you know what I mean? You know, these are all kind of like top local league players that are in the bottom division of the National League. So this morning, first match against David was pretty tough actually. Had to kind of battle through in that. Played really nicely. Second game, the guy had short pimples on his backhand, so I could see when Naz played him. It was a really unusual one when Naz played him, because this guy came out firing and Naz just had no clue what to do really. And he was hitting backhands and just played great, and then he kind of switched off a little bit and he allowed Naz to get back in and win it. So I knew I had to give this guy respect, but I think that was just a case of don't allow him to do too much. So I just had to sort of spin as hard as I could, force him to kind of back off, don't let him do an awful lot, and I kind of controlled that one, won it 3-0. The second match, first game, was against Les Baker. I played Les last year in Huddersfield and he beat me 3-0. So I had a little bit of an idea what to do with him. He had short pimples on his backhand. I'm not sure if he had short pimples last time that I played him. But the mistake that I made a few times with him was that I did like a bit of a hook serve into his, because he's left-handed, and I forget that sometimes, and I was doing like a bit of a sort of shortish hook serve straight at him, and that allowed him to hit this, hit his left-handed backhand straight across the table. So I did that a couple of times, and then I was like, I ain't doing that again. And then the last game that I played against Alan, because I'd seen Alan beat Naz 3-0 in the first game, and I kind of knew that he didn't really do anything with his backhand. He had a good forehand open up, but I just knew that he'd go cross court. The biggest problem that I had with him was trying to stop him like attacking my returns, because I was really struggling early on with this. He was doing a backhand serve, so throwing it up and doing this kind of like, cutting across motion, similar to what I do, but he was serving it long, but I was really struggling to read it, because sometimes it was backspin, sometimes it earned it quite dead, and then other times it did have a bit of topspin on it, and I slipped into the whole thing of just trying to like roll it back, and I was just rolling it back straight to him. He would then pivot and then clobber his forehand. So that was probably the biggest thing that I sort of struggled with. So I just tried my best to read it. It was, again, it's very difficult though, because he does a few different serves, then he goes back to that one and you kind of forget, and you just try and get it back on, and then he hits it. So yeah, I just had to try and, I really had to try and make sure that I either got that right in his backhand corner, or that I got it wide to his forehand. But I didn't really get it wide to his forehand though. I was again hitting it sort of middle of the table-ish or very wide to his backhand. But I started to kind of read where he was going, which was, like I say, he was going cross court, and I actually countered that a few times. I found that when I really did spin my forehand hard, he was struggling with that, because it was either difficult to block it, or it was dipping very quickly and he was missing it. I genuinely think that is a really good shot. I know that I did a video a couple of weeks ago now that was on developing a powerful forehand loop, and a powerful fast forehand loop is a really good shot, but a slow, really heavy spin forehand loop, which is probably my best shot actually, is really effective. And it's something that I forget about it sometimes, because I'm trying to hit it fast, and that heavy spin is such a good shot. So that really won me the game, because I was delighted. I was 2-0 down and came back and won it 3-2, and like I say, that won us the game overall. But yeah, like I say, so far absolutely delighted, really happy. It's always one of those, when you get asked to come along. I know that it was a bit of a last minute thing, and the guys were just happy for me to make the numbers up, but I'm really happy that I've been able to play, and like I say, 4 out of 4 so far is really good. Don't want to tempt fate though, because it's going to be difficult in the last match, so we'll see how we get on with those, and we'll do a quick recap at the end. So on my way home, the epic schlep back from Derby to Warrington. Yeah, it's been a really, really good day. We managed to win the second round of matches. We won that, so that was really pleasing. Then going into the final round of matches, we played against a pretty tough team, pretty tricky. Their number one was excellent, and unfortunately I didn't get to play him today because I was playing as our number 3. It meant that I was playing against their number 2 and number 3, so I didn't get to play the number 1. But he was really, really good. He used a very unusual kind of rubber. It was I'm not sure what 100% sure what it was, but it was a fairly sort of like tacky rubber, and he didn't spin it, he just kind of pushed and then flat hit. But he was flat hitting really well against like backspin balls. So both Phil and Naz kind of struggled. And my first game went on against a chap called Roger, who had long pimples and kind of like classic long pimples type player. He was just really, you know, kind of obviously like looking for me to make mistakes, pop the ball up, and he had a good forehand, as a lot of these guys with long pimples do. So, you know, they're waiting for you to pop it up and then they'll just kind of flat hit it past you. So I just had to really maintain my concentration, make sure that I stuck to my main tactic, which was to generally serve sort of long with either light topspin or light backspin. You know, just really remembering what ball, you know, what type of spin I've given to them. So it took a bit of patience, had to be a bit careful with him, but managed to win that one. And I think it was 3-2 to us going into the final match, which was me against a guy called Chris. Chris didn't want me to record, so I don't have the footage from that game, but I managed to win it 3-0. But again, it wasn't easy, because again, and I think that's the beauty of Vets British League and Senior British League, is that, you know, it can be quite tight, and it can come down to the final game to decide like an overall winner and to see who gets the points. I managed to come through it. I stayed aggressive, played well, didn't really give him many opportunities. He had quite a good hit on his backhand, so I just had to be a little bit careful. But yeah, you know, managed to kind of close that out. We managed to win that overall. So it's been a great day. I'm, you know, absolutely delighted. I've won 6 out of 6. Which in in a national league standard is really, really good. I was happy with how I played all day. Again, I would say that I put some good training in over the summer, but the last few weeks I've just kind of slipped out of the practice and training side of things. I've been very, very busy with work. We've had a lot of stuff going on family wise, so I've still played some matches. Played today. I've got another match the back end of next week, which is going to be a very, very tough one. So, you know, it's been good from that perspective. But I would say that in terms of like, you know, me progressing and playing my best table tennis, I need a bit of training and a bit more practice time. So we'll try and get that in. It's not easy at the moment because my older brother's over from Australia for the next month. So, you know, so we've got a lot of family stuff going on. So I think basically it is what it is really for these next few weeks. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who have, you know, similar things where you like to try and practice a little bit more, try and train a bit more, and you just don't have the time to do it. So that is the life of you know, an amateur sports person. You know, you've got to mix around your responsibilities and everything. But yeah, really good day overall. I've really, really enjoyed it. Phil and Naz got on with them, both great. So we've had, you know, a good bit of banter, you know, and I'm just, like I say, I'm really pleased that, you know, coming into something like this when you've, you know, been asked last minute, you don't want to turn up and just be making up the numbers and letting the guys down. So I'm really, really pleased that I've had a good day. The highlight of the day for me has to be my match against Roger, the second round of matches. I didn't talk about it earlier on, but I was really pleased with that, how I was 2-0 down and I managed to come back and win that 3-2, which then got us the winning point to win that round of matches. So really, really happy with that. I was letting my I think my temperament was getting the better of me at times. I tend to flip between getting quite annoyed with myself and then getting a bit melancholic, if you like, and a bit like, oh, what's the point? And I was doing both of those in that game. But the positive I would take out of it is that I, you know, got it together. I was struggling with his serves, but I really tried to focus and knuckle down and make sure that I got the serves back, you know, and hit some really good shots when I needed to. So that was probably the highlight of the day for me, and that's the main positive that I'll take out of it, as well as how I kind of turned that around when my attitude was just slipping a little bit. But yeah, like I say, absolutely delighted with the day. Really, really enjoyed it. It's a great format. You know, hopefully I might get to play in another round of matches for the next month or so. As I mentioned at the start of today, I'll put all the matches in full on my channel. I'll probably put those out a few days after this vlog comes out, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for, you know, I've got lots of good content coming up. I've got some different videos that I'm doing, some training videos, some sort of fun videos. There's hopefully going to be lots of stuff to keep you guys interested. I'll see you again soon.